All right, let's dive in and build your essential digital toolkit. This is your beginner's guide to the basics, the tools that connect us, help us communicate, and let us create. Let's get started.
So, have you ever felt just completely lost in the digital world? A little overwhelmed by all the apps and all the jargon? Trust me, you are not alone. It can feel like you're trying to learn a whole new language.
But here's the thing, we're going to build your digital toolkit together, one easy step at a time. The whole idea here is to give you confidence, to put you in the driver's seat.
Okay, first things first, we've got to get connected to the internet. This is the absolute foundation for everything else we're going to talk about. You can think of it as the main highway for the entire digital world.
But what is the internet, really? I mean, at its heart, it's just this giant global system of computers all talking to each other. It's the plumbing, the infrastructure that lets our phones, our laptops, and everything else communicate.
You know, a really good way to picture it is like the world's biggest library. It's packed with endless information, all kinds of services, and countless ways to connect with people. It's a resource for pretty much anything you can imagine.
Okay, so you've got this massive library, right? But you can't just wander in. You need a vehicle to get around. And in the digital world, that vehicle is your web browser. It's the app that lets you actually visit all those different places online.
Yeah, you've definitely seen these icons on your computer or phone. We're talking about browsers like Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, and Microsoft Edge. You just open one up, type in where you want to go, and boom, it takes you there.
And the last piece of this puzzle is what's called an ISP, or Internet Service Provider. This is the company you pay, kind of like your power company, to give you that on-ramp to the internet highway. They're the ones who provide the actual connection from your home to the rest of the world.
All right, so we're online. Now let's talk about one of the most fundamental tools you'll use, email. This is basically your digital mailbox, and it's a cornerstone of modern communication.
Email is pretty much exactly what it sounds like, electronic mail. It works on the same basic idea as the regular postal service, but it's digital and, way faster. It's an absolutely essential tool to have.
And, an email address isn't just a random jumble of letters. It actually has a structure. The John Doe part is the unique name for the mailbox. The @ symbol just means @. College is the organization hosting the email, and .com tells you it's a commercial site. See, it all makes sense when you break it down.
So why is email still so important? Well, for one, it's lightning fast. It also creates a digital paper trail, so you have a record of your conversations. You can easily share files and forward info, and you can access it from just about anywhere. Best of all, it's a super cost-effective way to communicate.
Okay, so we can get online, we can send emails. Now let's talk about actually creating stuff. We're going to look at 3 powerhouse tools from Microsoft Office that help you turn your ideas from a blank page into a masterpiece.
First up, we've got Microsoft Word. You can think of it as a digital typewriter, but it's so much more than that. You start with a totally blank page, and from there, you can build just about any kind of polished, professional-looking document you can imagine.
And this is a perfect example of what Word can do. On one hand, you've got this clean, professional thank you letter. Super simple, all business. But on the other hand, look at this, a colorful, eye-catching flyer for an event. It just shows the incredible range you get from one single program.
All right, next in our toolkit is Microsoft Excel. So if Word is all about words, Excel is all about numbers. It's an incredibly powerful program designed to help you organize data, make lists, manage budgets, you name it. So let's say you're trying to track some information just like this simple table here. In Excel, you'd start by plugging everything into these neat little rows and columns. This gets all your numbers in order, but this is just the beginning.
Because this is where the magic really happens. With just a couple of clicks, Excel takes that table of numbers and turns it into a visual chart. All of a sudden, the information is so much easier to understand at a glance. That's the real power of Excel, turning raw data into clear insights.
And rounding out our trio is Microsoft PowerPoint. This is your go-to tool for telling a story visually. It's all about combining text, images, and maybe even those charts we just made to create a really engaging presentation for an audience.
And just like the others, it all starts with a blank canvas. That empty slide on the left, it's not empty. It's just full of possibilities. You add a title, maybe a question, and suddenly it's the start of a story, like the slide on the right. This is how you take simple ideas and build them into a compelling journey.
So let's pull all of this together. We've talked about getting online, communicating with email, and creating with Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. These are the building blocks. your path forward in the digital world.
And honestly, this is the most important thing to remember. These programs, they aren't obstacles. They're not something to be afraid of. They are your assets, your tools for communicating better, staying organized, and unleashing your creativity.
So now you have the map. You've got the foundational tools for navigating the digital world. The only question left is the most exciting one of all. Where are you going to go first?